Hey guys, this is Shubham and welcome to another video of this COVID-19 tracking app tutorial series. In the previous video, we have implemented our code to fetch the data for the world cases from the API. And if you haven't watched that video, then you can click on the I button at the top right corner of your screen. You will find the link there. In this video, we will going to design our layout to show the case data for every state of India, and we will implement the code to fetch the data for every state individually. So before getting into the video, I want to explain you some points. So as we are in our project, so we will go to our main activity. As you can see, we have created show dialog and dismiss dialog. So for we need these two functions in every activity. So as like you can see in world data activity, we have used the show dialog and dismiss dialog, and we have to again add the functions here. So to reduce the codes, the redundancy of the codes, what we should do, we can use the function which we define in our main activity. So how can we achieve that? We will discuss about that. So in the main activity, first of all, we need to make it public so that we can access it from another class. Okay, and as you can see, we are initializing the progress bar for this context. So we need to pass an argument of context, and that context we will use here. Okay, and this show dialog where it is using in the main activity, so here we will pass this. So we are passing this context of main activity, and this is fetched by the progress dialog and it will create the object of this context. So now we can use this show dialog in our other activities. So I will show you an example. So I will delete these two methods, and I will also make this public, the dismiss dialog. So we will go to our world data activity. Now we want to use the show dialog from this main activity. So uh, the first thing we need to do is we need to create an object of main activity. So we will create an object of main activity. Sorry. Okay, and now we can use the functions which are public in the main activity. So we have to just write the activity dot and the function name which is public, and we need to pass the argument of context. So we are passing this, and for the dismiss we don't have to pass because it is just the dismiss of the dialog. So we will just add the activity dot dismiss. So if we run this app, we can see there is no any error. So by this way you can reduce your code and reduce your time to add the same code multiple times in every activity. Our app is loaded. So if I click on the world's data, so you can see that this dialog is appearing. So this function we used is from main activity, and we are using it in world data activity. So it reduces our code. Now let's go to our main part, which we will discuss in this video. So we will implement the click on this state data. When we click on state data, it will open another activity in which we will have a list of states and their respective cases count. So let's implement that. So first we will go to the main activity, and inside main activity we will find the uh, linear state data. So inside this we will write our code to open another activity. So we will create another activity. We will name it as each state, sorry, state wise data activity. So currently it is not present, so just quickly create another activity. Go to new and go to activities and select empty activity. We will name it as the same which we have given in the main activity class. So state wise data activity. Okay, so our activity is created. Now the error is gone. So whenever you click on this button, it will redirect, it will open this page, this state-wise data activities. Now we will add the codes in our state-wise data activity XML file. So we will just quickly copy the files from our GitHub repo. So don't worry about the codes. I will give the link of this repo in my description, so you can check out the codes from there. So I will go to the XML folder, resources, layouts, and this is the activity state-wise. So here we are using the swipe refresh layout because we are refreshing the data. Okay, and inside this swipe refresh layout, we are using a linear layout. Okay, and the orientation is vertical, so we will align the elements inside this linear layout vertically. So the first element is the edit text. So we will give a search feature in this page so that user can directly search for the state. So this is the search option, and I have set the background as this border. So you can check from the drawable. I have already added this edit text bg. So this is nothing but a shape which has stroke of width 1.5 dp, and the color is orange, and I have given the radius to about 4 dp, and the shape is rectangle. So that's all. You can easily add this. So here I have set the background as this, and just below this edit text we are using card view. So this card view is the heading, which will show the state and the case. So it is a static field, so we don't have to do any dynamic change in this field, so we will keep it as it is. And after this we are adding recycler view. So the main thing is the recycler view, because we will add our list of the states in this recycler view, and we are giving this an ID of this activity state wise recycler view. So the layout part is done. As you can see, this is the edit text where we will search our state or filter our list of states, and this is the header which shows the state at the left and the total cases at the right side. And just below this header we have a recycler view which will load the list of the states. So we will implement this later in this video, so keep watching. And now we will create our layout which will be shown in this recycler view. Okay, so we will create a new layout inside the layout folder, and we will call it as layout state wise. Okay, hit OK, and we will quickly copy from our repositories layout state wise and just copy the codes from here. I will explain you, don't worry. So basically this is the layout, means for each row it will show like this. So we will populate our items for each state in this layout. So basically we have added a card view, and inside the card view we have a linear layout which has two text view inside it. So we will dynamically change the text view of this test, and the second text view is for the total cases, and the first text view is for the state name. So we have given the IDs to these two text views. As you can see, the first one is the test-wise layout name text view, and this is the second one is confirmed cases text view. So we will see it later. Now we have already designed our layout for the main activity state-wise data, which will show the list of states, and for each state we also have designed our layout. So now this next thing we will add is the adapter. Okay, so we will first create a package, and inside that package we will add our adapters, so to keep it organized. So adapters, and second package we will add models. So in the models we will keep the data related to the states. So the data which we will fetch from the API, we will get the data through a model. So we will create a class, we will call it state-wise model, and we will quickly copy the codes from our repo. So these variables we have defined. So we will fetch from the API, we will fetch the state name, which is state, the confirm cases, the confirm new cases, the active cases, the death cases, the death new cases, the recovered new cases, and the last update time. So we have added all these fields. Now what we will do, we will add the constructor. So to do so, we will click on alt and insert together, so you will get an option. So click on constructor and select all the values and press OK. So you can see it is automatically create us the constructor for this class. And after this constructor, we will add a get method for all these fields. So again, click on alt insert, sorry, and you will see getter and setter. So we don't need the setter because we don't have to set any value to the server or database. We just want to get the data. So we will just set the getter functions for all the fields. So it will automatically create all the functions, all the get methods for me. So as of now, we will delete this, and I'm seeing some error in this XML file. Let me check. Okay, error is gone. So we have all created our model. Now we will create our adapter. So we will create an adapter class, which is state-wise adapter, and I will tell you how you can create a adapter class, so it will be easy to understand. You will just first I will open the adapter class. Okay, the first thing, you have to extend this class from the recyclerview.adapter class. So we will extend our class to recyclerview dot adapter, and inside this we will create a view holder, sorry, view holder. See, so we have created a view holder. Now hover over this, and you will see an option to create a class of view holder. So click on that. So it will create a class for view holder, and this class will extend recyclerview dot view holder. And again hover over this, you will get an option to add constructor of matching. So you have added the view holder, okay, the view holder class, and for the view holder class you have added the constructor. Now again hover over this line, you will get an option to add the implement methods. So you will be given three methods which will be implemented. So select all three and select. So the error is gone. So here we have three methods which are on create view holder, the second one is on bind view holder, and third one is the get item count. So we will define our views inside this class, the view which we have created in this layout, this one and this one. So we will define that in our adapter. So we will go to this class. As you can see, we have defined our views, the text view inside the view holder class, and this linear layout is to click on this button so that it will go to a particular state. So the list will show the state name and the total case counts. Now we will initialize it inside this view holder constructor. So we will add this inside the constructor, and please note that you don't get an option to directly use the find view by id, because you are passing the view as item view. So you have to add an item view dot find view id. So we have initialized our view. Now we will inflate our layout which we have created, this layout inside this adapter. So where we will do that in this on create view holder method. So in this on create view holder method, we will remove this return null and we will paste it. So basically what we are doing here is we are creating a view and inflating this context. We will create here context m context. Okay, this variable we have created context, and we are inflating the layout which we have created, this layout state wise. This layout we have inflated in the adapter, and the attached root is false, and we are returning this view which we have created inside this on create view holder. Now the second thing we will define array list of type state wise model which we have created, this model which we have created. So we have defined our array list. Now we will create a constructor of these two. So click on alt and insert constructor, select both, and here the constructor is added. Now this part is done. Now inside the on bind view holder, you will get the option to bind the data. Okay, so what you will do is you will create an instance of model class inside view bind holder. You are creating instance of current item. So, and the item which is selected is we are getting from the position. So the position get position will return the selected item, and the values it will assign to this current item of this state-wise model class. So we have fetched the data for this current item, and we are taking this value into a string. For state name, we are taking the data as current item dot get state. So get state is the method which we have added in our model class. Get state, so this will give me the state name. So we are saving the data into state name, and the state total is the total confirmed cases which we are getting. And what we are doing is we are setting the text. So we are setting the text for total cases as state total, and we are setting the name as state name. So it will show me the state name and the total cases as a list for every state. Now in this get item count, we will return the total number of items in the array list. So we will write a condition: if array list is not equal to null or equal null, then we will return 0, else we will return array list dot size. Okay, so our adapter is completed. Now we will add the codes in our main state-wise data activity class. So we will go to our state data activity class. So we will first add the title bar, the title of the toolbar, and we have set icon to go back, the menu icon on the toolbar. And now we will define our variables. So first we are defining the recycler view, then the state-wise adapter, and then the array list. So we have defined these three variables so that we will use it later. The swipe refresh layout and the edit text view, which we have added in this the XML file. Now we will add some strings to store the fetch data. And as I already mentioned that we will use the progress dialog by accessing the main activities dialog, show dialog and dismiss dialog methods. So the first thing, we will initialize our variables inside onCreate method, and inside onCreate method we have initialized our variables. So as you can see, for swipe refresh layout we have initialized, for et underscore search we have and initialized the edit text, and for rv state-wise is the recycler view, which we have assigned this id, and we have fixed this size of the recycler view, and we have set the linear layout manager to this recycler view, because we want to show the data in uh, vertically. So we don't want to use the grid layout manager, so we are using the linear layout manager. So it will show the data fully vertically. We are using vertical showing of the data, so it will show us the vertical list of the data. Now we are creating an object of this array list, and we are initializing it. state-wise model array list, we have named it, and now we are initializing the adapter, and we are passing the first thing is the context, which we have passed the context. This is the context, state-wise data activity, and the second thing we will pass is the array list. So the initialization is done. Now we will fetch the data. So we will write the function to fetch the data. So first we will add this function inside our onCreate method just below the init method, and we will initialize our fetch details data, and inside this fetch detail data we will have this line of code. So I think you will be familiar with this because we have already used these codes in our previous videos, and I have explained already everything related to JSON object, JSON request, and Volley request queues. So I will just quickly import all these classes. So here I am when this function is called, the fetch state wise data is called. The first thing I'm doing is I'm showing the dialog, the progress dialog. Then I am creating a request queue, and this is the same link I will show you. So we will use the state wise data. So in the state wise data we have from here state wise, the first object is the whole data for India, and from the second object we will have the data for particular states. So we will use the array from 1, not from 0. So here what we have done is we have taken the data from 1, okay, and we have taken from 1 to the last of that array, and we are storing it in an JSON object, and we are uh, storing the data for every field inside string. And after storing it in a string, we are creating a state-wise model to store this data in this model class. And after adding all the data, means after creating the instance with all these data for every object, we are adding the data into our array list, okay. So for suppose if this loop is running for first time, that is I equal to 1, then it will fetch the first index data. So this is the 0th index, then, and this is the first index. So it will load all the data here in these strings, and then it will create an instance with these data, and then this data will be loaded in this array list, and then again this loop runs, and the I equal to 2, it will become 2, and then it will fetch the third index. So similarly it will fetch up until it reaches the last element, the last object of the array. So by this way we will have all the states data in this array list. Now after getting all the states data in this array list, we will have handler, post handler, so that we will show user delay, so that we can show the progress dialog for 1 second. So after under this, after 1 second we will notify the change. So this is the code, the adapter dot notify dataset change. So this will notify the adapter that data was changed. So, and after that we will dismiss the progress dialog. So that's how it is working. Now we will check if it is working fine or not. Just running the app quickly. Your app is running. If we click on state data, you can see we have a list of all the states. See, it is loaded. Now we will implement the search feature and the refresh, because it is, we didn't set the swipe refresh layouts, that's why it is keep refreshing. Okay, so we will quickly add the code for swipe refresh inside the onCreate method. Okay, so it will again, whenever you swipe down the screen, it will call this function fetch its state-wise data method and dismiss the swipe. Okay, and how can we listen to the text change in the search box? So we will implement a text watcher. So this is the text watcher. So we will have to add this also inside the onCreate. So this text watcher will have three implemented method. The first is the before text change, the second is the on text change, and the third one is the after text change. So we will use the after text change. So whenever user write anything in the edit text, so it will response immediately. So we will add a function. We have added a function in to filter the data. So what it will do is we will pass the text which user wrote in the search box, and it will check if this text is containing in this array list or not. Okay, so if it contains, then it will add this item inside in the filtered list. Okay, and it will show the list to the user. So this is the filter list. This is the function inside our adapter. So we didn't have added it currently, so it is showing as red. So we will quickly add our method in the adapter class. So we will go to adapter, and so this is the function for the adapter class. So what it does is it receives the parameter, and it will notify the adapter that data has been changed, and you have to refresh the recycler view. So whenever you write where is yes, so whenever you write any text inside this edit text, so first I will add this filter, and inside this we will add s, and we will set this to string. So it will the text watcher method will listen to the text which we have uh, text which we have written in the text box. So, and it will call this function filter, which we are passing into the text which we have written. And what it will do is it will basically creating another array list, and uh, it will search the text into our array list, the full array list of the states, and if it matches with the current typed text, then it will add into this filtered list which we have created in this filter function. And then after all the data is fetched inside this, all the from all these states, it will just call this method which we have implemented in our adapter. So it just did nothing but notify the recycler view that the data is changed. So let's see, by running the app we will see the result here. So we will go to state data. Okay. And if I search for anything, like if I search for PU, then you can see the this PU containing states are appearing here. The Punjab, in Punjab, PU is present. In Tripura, PU is present. In Manipur, PU is present. In Pondicherry, PU is present. So that's how it is working. If I select RAG, then Rajasthan, if I click delete it, so basically the text watcher listen to every text which you added or removed. So if I add VI, so VI, it coming Bihar, and if I delete I, then it will give me all the states with B. So it is a dynamic approach to filter our list. So that's how it is working. Now that's all for this video, guys. So in the next video, we will set a click click event on this item. So whenever you click on any item, so it will open another activity with all the data for this particular state. So if you click on Maharashtra, the next activity which will open will show you the data for Maharashtra, the full data, the cases, the active cases, the deaths, the new deaths. So it will show you all the data for this particular state, and we will have an option at the bottom of this activity to check the district also for that state. So we will implement that in the next video. That's all for this video, guys. So if you like this video, then please do hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, and don't forget to press the bell icon to get the updates of my latest uploaded videos. And if you have any kind of doubts, you can comment on in the comment section below, and I will give the link of my repository in the description below. You can check the codes from there, and if you found any issue or you have any issue in understanding the codes, so you can directly ping me on my social media handles. The link are given in the description also. So that's all for this video, guys. See you in another video.